The Season 10 Top 4 matchup. It's a mirror between Phoenix, um, in this case, both on Seeker of Air. Uh, the two decks are pretty similar, so they're about an 80 out of 87 card mirror. The differences here are going to be Evan is on two different provinces than Kaza. He's got Kuori Mori instead of Shameful Display, and he's got Meditations on the Tao rather than Rally to the Calls. And then Dynasty side, he's on Uona as a 2 of and Master of Gisei Toshi as a 3 of. Kaza's the other way around with 3 Uonas, 2 Masters of Gisei Toshi. Tell them to get started. There's a little bit more difference on the conflict side. They've got, so Evan's playing a playset of Finger of Jades and a Consumed by 5 Fires, but he only has 1 Bonsai to Kaza's 2, and he doesn't have any Benton's Touches. Kaza has 2 of them, and then Kaza has a single Path of Man, which could be fun in this particular matchup. These differences, I think, on the whole, are pretty even. Being more on Uona is probably in favor of Kaza, but I think I like the Consumed by 5 Fires in the matchup, and I think I like the province selection a little better. So Kaza's on the bottom here, and we'll get started in a moment. I'm assuming that Kaza's running Rally on the box, and that Evan's probably running Kuori Mori on the box. So Evan does a full mulligan of 4 cards. Kaza's got a little bit more confidence in his. Apologies if my mic's a little off. It's been a while since I streamed. Let me make sure I actually linked it. Kaza mulligans is full conflict hand. You're really looking for an against the waves in your opening hand. So this particular matchup, I have some experience in the mirror. It's a misery. The particular matchup, there's about a 50% chance this game is just decided by one player sticking Tanaka without a cloud on it and the other player not. It's not impossible to win from there, but it's very difficult. Tanaka is almost at his best against Phoenix. Okay, I am in the chat, I think. Hopefully chat's enabled. Hopefully this is actually live and I'm not like talking to myself. Okay, so Evan's first player to start buys a Suki with 2. Neither of these players is running an assassination, so this Suki is pretty safe. Kaza also doesn't have Consumed, so this is just going to stick. Okay, good. Glad to see I am live. So yeah, probably just both play Suki. Yep, both are bidding 5. That's not at all a surprise. There's a very good, like, this is a game where legitimately you might actually draw through the entire deck, lose the 5 honor, and just keep going. Let's see. So it's a little awkward here because you don't necessarily want to attack water. Depending on how many conflict characters they have in hand, they're both running 8 with 3 Shrine Maidens, 3 Ningyos, and 2 Tattooed Wanderers. But if you attack water, you end up giving the opponent an honored Suki. Wouldn't surprise me to see both players pass. The Finger of Jade is interesting. It does protect from against the waves here. It also protects from Uona, but it's not at its best in this matchup. Yeah, Evan passes. That makes sense. Kaza's probably going to pass. Yep. I don't even know if Evan will attack here, to be honest. Probably. It depends on your hand, but it's hard to just not do anything the first turn. If he has... I mean, it's just hard to attack the first turn. They both are rung 1 censure, so it's not the end of the world. No, Kaza is on the bottom. He has the Forgotten Library, so he's up a province. Okay, so Evan's going after the library, which makes sense. Let's see if what element. He's like attacking Earth. Okay. No, it looks like he's changing his mind on the province. Okay, Shameful is really rough to hit there, but the Finger of Jade does protect against it. You probably don't burn a Let Go here, even if you have one. Yeah, he's just going to use Shameful to kill the Finger of Jade. Let's see how many clarities are involved here. If Evan has a clarity, he should play it now. Yep, there it is. If Kaza has a clarity, he should play it now. Yeah, there's an ornate fan that probably indicates he doesn't have a clarity in hand. Yep, there's the Against the Waves. Okay, so they're just going to trade Against the Waves here. We'll see if Evan wants to do it a second time. Nope. So he's just going to give this one up. He's still winning the favor. Yeah, there are no assassinations in this particular matchup. There will be one in the finals, but yeah, these are Sukis are perfectly safe from this. So unless Kaza has something here, Evan's going to take the favor. Okay, he's got another Against the Waves from hand. That's not great to have to play 2 from hand in the first turn, though. Well, it's clarity for defense as well. And yes, it's worth it on the first turn, I would say. But the clarity isn't even just for favor, it's also to protect against the Waves. Once you've clarity, your opponent can Against the Waves you. It's also why you'll a lot of times see the clarity get played before the Against the Waves to straighten, because then they can't rebow. Kaza just passes there. I don't love that. Favor isn't so important in this particular matchup with 1 censure on each side and no Conjos showing. He's going to have a lot of faith this turn and 2 libraries going. Evan's flip is not great. Master Agi Satoshi is about at its worst in this matchup, and attacking water is kind of rough with the Suki on the other side. I don't know what I would do on Evan's side in terms of purchases here. I think I'd go Prodigy of the Waves, but I'm much more aggressive-minded than these two generally are. Okay, maybe not more than Evan. Prodigy with 3, that's pretty good. That's going to be around most of the game. There's no consumed on Kaza's side. No surprise, both bidding 5. I mean, Kaza's drawing 7 a turn now, and we haven't even seen the Shrine Maidens yet. Alright, so Kaza absolutely can't attack water. The Naive Student is actually really good in this matchup simply because it cannot be bowed with Against the Waves. So you probably poke something there just to force Evan to defend it. The problem is you haven't seen a clarity out of Evan yet. Evan only being on one fate does kind of hurt him this turn. He's not going to be able to do multiple expensive spells. He's going to get 2 fate off of rings this turn probably, but he might be stuck taking air over earth or something for the next one. Never mind, there's 2 more fate. Okay, so Evan leads on the Manicured Gardens, which indicates he's wanting this to break, basically. I would expect a display here. Yep. Kaza does have his censure. Okay. So that means that the display does not resolve here, but Kaza won't have a censure the rest of the game unless we go through the libraries. Evan's still got his. That's a big swing because honoring that Prodigy of the Waves would have been huge. So yeah, with the Prodigy, it's worth attacking water. Favors on political, so this is tied at 1-1. Yeah, that censure was pretty good. Unless you, I mean, Evan's not going to walk his Consumed by 5 Fires into a censure, and that's basically the next highest value target. Let's see who had more Feral Ningos. Kaza appears to be winning that particular battle. So is Evan going to commit any more to this fight? Bow down the Naive Student. Nope. That said, Kaza's going to need a conflict character or yet another Against the Waves to make another attack. Yeah, they're not great. They can be nice if you're Keeper of Water, but they're not so great as the Sea Girl. So this Naive Student's on defense because Kaza only has his military attack left. Neither player's used their box yet. They both have Against the Waves in the discard. Okay, so there's a Shrine Maiden. Not a great Shrine Maiden. One of the Ningos goes away for good. Also loses the Court Games, gets one of his Benton's Touch, which is one of the differences in his list between himself and Evan. Got 2 of those. It's not usable right now, but it could be good later. 1-1 draw. Shrine Maiden's one of the 3 best cards in the game. Like that was a bad Shrine Maiden, and it was a 1-1 draw 1 for 1. And there's the Bonsai. So he's threatening the break here. Probably going to get it too, because I can't really think of much that's in Evan's list that's going to stop it. I think I agree. I don't like the Earth attack here. It did. Number 1, it didn't have Fate on it, which Void did. Number 2, the Void attack back is going to be, it's stoppable, but it's going to be difficult to stop. Yeah, Kaza's pretty likely to have a display. On turn 2, he is halfway through his deck and he runs 2. So about 75% to have one. Oh, Evan loses the consumed there. It doesn't actually stop the threat because, of course, it is a spell, so he could flash it back off the box. Just puts the threat on the table. Did Kaza already do a display? I don't think so. Evan already did a display. You have to attack here, though. You're down 2 provinces. Yeah, political void attack. That makes total sense. He is defending. That would suggest that he does not have the display. Expect to open here on Against the Waves on Suki. Pretty good chance Evan Clarity. Yep. So there's the box for the Against the Waves. Essentially free because he's got 2 in discard. I mean, minus the 1 fate cost, of course. Evan's probably going to... I mean, Evan's also got access to box. Okay, he can also just get up to winning but not breaking with that Court Games. Court Games back doesn't stop it. Yeah, Kaza just passes. So Evan's got a win on Void but no break if he wants it. Tempting to just take that. You're still down 2 provinces, but you're going to have a massive board advantage. And honestly, if he's up that far on board, Kaza probably has to get off of one of these libraries. He might anyway. Okay. So yeah, now it's breaking. Yep, just breaks. So yeah, that's looking pretty good for Evan. He's not on the favor. He's down a province, but the board position's a lot better. Yeah, I don't think that Earth attack was correct. I can see the fire one, but the Earth one I think was wrong. Tatsuki was a good unit too. That is not gonna be a good flip with Kaza's fate pool. He needed somebody bigger. Evans is fine. So Evans first player this turn. I would expect him to play 2 of the cheaper characters. His only triggers Fuona are the 3 Cloud the Mines, so she's not great here unless he has one of them. And you don't really want to burn a Cloud just to use her. Like those are for Tadaka. I think he'll probably buy the student here. He might just pass and take fate, but you're not... Like, Kaza's on 11 fate. Like, what are you going to do there? Oh boy, the 1 fate Mia Mystic. The 2 1 fate Mia Mystics. That does not feel great. There's a chance that which library Kaza kept is a bit of a signal which province is left. His 2 that are not revealed are Manicured Gardens and I think he had Meditations. No, Evan's got Meditations. So he hasn't. So we've seen his Shameful. We've seen his Fertile Field. So he's got the Earth Province. I'm gonna blank on the name, but my guess would actually be that one's on the library. Yeah, Upholding Authority. I just totally blanked on the name. Evan's the one who's got Meditations on the Dow, which is going to be great against these 1 fate Neo Mystics. That said, Kaza's got 3 Shugenja of sorts. The storms are not going to be that bad. He could still take a province this turn. He does have 17 cards to Evan's 12. Evan's running straight into Shameful with his 0 glory Dreamer. Both Dreamers are on air because air had 2 fate. I don't know that I like that from Kaza's side. The Dreamer is the second player is always a little awkward though. She's still a great character, but it's just, it can be a little bit weird to try and figure out what you should be naming as second player. Alright, let's see what they have. A Katana there puts Kaza in the lead. Evan does not have a Against the Waves in Graveyard. I believe Kaza still does. Kaza does have 1 left. Evan's got 2 in deck or hand, though. Kaza's down to 1. The actual airing effect in this matchup is basically non-existent. There's 0 chance that this game ends with a dishonor loss. Unless one of them goes like completely crazy somehow. Alright, so Kaza's willing to give up the ring effect. Honestly, the point towards favor is the biggest part of that. Supernatural Storm, it's +3 on either side now. Another Katana. Not having to fear assassination makes Dreamer really, really good. Evan's got the option to flash back a Storm, but at some point it might become worth the Against the Waves. So yeah, it's yep, there's again. Oh no, that one's from hand. So that is the 3rd Against the Waves from Kaza. So Evan now only has to worry about it off the box. I'm not sure that, I don't know that I like playing it from hand there. Ha! Kaza gets off his path of man on defense for 2 more fate. I mean, you could. That Dreamer's pretty decent. But, I mean, I think it would be a bad idea. Yeah, you can't do it this turn anyway. Now he's used his Stronghold. I think it would have been kind of crazy. These Mia Mystics are not worth consuming. He's got 2 attachments on board, one of which is going to stick around, so they would just pull the trigger on the Mia Mystic. Well, this is not an inspiring attack. So he does find Meditations on the Tao with the Mia Mystic. I love the Path of Man. Suki's going to get in the way here. This Mia Mystic is going to lose its fate, but again, it can probably just kill that Katana and you end up okay with it. Kind of whatever. We'll see if Kaza even decides to play into this. The Fire Ring's pretty good here. It would go directly on the Prodigy of the Waves. He has the option, well, he's attacking military. I think I would have liked a political attack for the option to, against the Waves, that Dreamer with 2 katanas on it and swing on the second turn, or swing on your second conflict, but that line's just not even really worth it. So Evan, you can't stop Evan from making his second attack because he's got his political left and you can't do anything about the naive student. Otherwise, there's a line where you, like if Evan's first attack had been political, there's a world where you go ahead and, against the Waves, the Prodigy, and hope he can't do it back. Instead, he's going to hit Suki with it. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. I mean, he's breaking here. He'll be on box. Evan will have a pretty sizable board advantage, and that's Corey Moria under the box. So, yeah. Okay, Evan does not want to let this break without a fight, which I think is fair. You don't really want them to be on box. Because Kaza's probably got 2 more. He's got a very good chance of having 2 more Supernatural Storms in hand. Did Kaza not use his Shrine Maiden? That's the mirror for you. I think Kaza passed his Shrine Maiden. Or it's weird. Okay. I mean, I guess he's worried about drawing out, but I don't like that. I mean, I'm going to assume it was a misclick, maybe. I don't know. He's at 13 cards in his library, and he could draw through. I mean, it's not impossible that that's the case. They don't have, like, a super high spell count by the standards of Phoenix decks. I think Kaza was at, like, 17. If you have the key ones, maybe. You don't want to, and you don't have either of your Ningos that's left in the deck. I don't know. So getting that break there is pretty big, though. He's still massively behind on board, and he's still going to be massively behind on board next turn, especially if Evan gets this Void Ring off. I mean, it's just going to kill a Mia Mystic, but that said, I'd actually expect Kaza to display this if he has it. It doesn't remove any of Evan's board for next turn, but it makes it more achievable. Upholding Authority is pretty good for Kaza there. Worth noting, even though the first conflict was at Shameful, it never got used in the conflict, so it was still available. That's why he's not attacking into it. Evan plays a Let Go on the Katana, which, I mean, he's still breaking this province. So I have to assume he's... Oh, he must have multiple Let Goes. What am I talking about? I'm like... Okay, so he's keeping Prodigy unbowed. That's fine. He still won't take the favor if Kaza just lets it stand. But it gives him a defender, prevents it just being... He must have all 3 Let Goes in hand. There's no reason to play the second one there. Unless you actually have the third. So Evan's all the way down to 5 cards even before this Upholding Authority goes off. Oh, there's the display. So the display's fine here. Like, it's nice. if the game goes a couple more turns. Because this, I assume he's going to avoid this Prodigy of the Waves. It saves a Mia Mystic for a turn on your side, and it locks up the favor if you want it. So we'll see what Evan had. Yep, Evan had all 3 let goes in hand. Kaza's hitting the Ornate Fan. That's fine. He's got 2 Mia Mystics on board, so the Cloud the Mind is not that big a threat. Kaza goes ahead and kills the Mia Mystic that was going away and a turn to kill the Fine Katana. Probably means he's either not attacking or he just didn't want to forget it. Yeah, I think I would have hit the last let go anyway, but having one in discard means that if it comes to a Tadaka war, it's already off. The problem will be if Evan finds a Tadaka and Kaza doesn't. So yeah, boards are a little more even now. Kaza's up a break and up a lot of cards, but down some Fate. He could be up more cards if he had decided to. Well, okay, so there's the Tadaka on Kaza's side. So the let go is going to be off here in a second. So Kaza's going to have Tadaka. Tadaka's probably going to stick because Kaza has to have a pretty decent number of let goes in hand himself. And he's going to be attacking the stronghold this turn before Evan gets a chance to attack. He had 1 library turn 1, 2 for a turn. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Kaza's going to need his top 5 cards to be real good. If Evan survives this turn, then he's in pretty good shape. He's going to take the favor because that palace is sticking. But it's going to be hard getting there. So Kaza's got however many let goes he has in hand and a Mia Mystic on board. So this Tadaka's going to be clear. Kaza has access to a Supernatural Storm in his yard from the box. He has access to probably 2 more in hand. Yep, the Dreamers go water. Oh boy. So 2 bodies are getting converted out of this first battle. Evan's got a let go, but it is turned off. So there's cloud number 1. Kaza has the first let go. So he would need the other 2 clouds in for there not to be a second let go in Kaza's hand. Oh, wow. So Evan loses 2 Tattooed Wanderers and a Bonsai. Kaza's got his other Tattooed Wanderer. So that is the 3 best bodies are getting converted out here. Assuming that he remembers to use. He has not yet used the Adept of the Waves, as long as he remembers not to use it on one of these people who already have covert. Yep, there goes. So covert on itself. Kaza is out of Fate, but Evan can't play that much. He can, I think, play in Against the Waves. Yeah, so he can play in Against the Waves because he does not have one in the yard. That is basically the only relevant card he can play. There's a chance it's enough if Kaza really screws this up somehow, but yeah, kind of. I mean, he'd only have. I mean, a let go. Being able to play a let go right now would only get him one more character into this conflict. Which is 3 skill, don't get me wrong. So right now, Korimori is still breaking. So there's court games. This should go on Adept of the Way. I don't like that. So Evan's going to try and draw this out. If Kaza does a Supernatural Storm on Tadaka instead of spreading it around or something, but he doesn't even have to take actions yet, it's still breaking. Flipping this to political. Oh, there's a third one. Still breaking. So flipping this to political, I think overall hurts Evan. So yeah, he'd be at -2 from where he's at. Kaza would be at -2 as well. So it doesn't actually change it. Oh, it is political. I'm sorry. Flipping it to military actually just gives +2 to each. That said, okay, so there's a second let go. I wonder if Evan's got a cloud he's been holding back. It would kill the Mia Mystic at least. He's down to 3 cards in hand. If one of them is Against the Waves, there might be a path here, but it would require Kaza to screw up, I think. Okay, so he switches the ring out, which does hit Evan, or does hit Kaza for 2 because the Dreamer is on water. So this is gonna force a storm out. Oh my god. Okay. Well, now Kaza has access to 3 storms. So with 2 storms left in the deck, I really don't understand Kaza not triggering the previous Shrine Maiden, but good game to Kaza. So the finals is going to be myself versus Kaza at some point. So Phoenix is going to win the cup. Manus Phoenix is going to win the cup, but it will actually be a little bit less of a mirror than this one. These two were on 80 out of 87 cards. Kaza and I are on about 66 out of 87, so a little bit less close. But good game to both of them. And yeah, Evan only saw one against the Waves, or we would have seen it at some point in that conflict. Kaza had the libraries. I think that was the big difference. Tadaka on the last turn obviously closed it out, but the extra card advantage here was pretty significant. Evan's Shrine Maiden in that last turn was also terrible, and draw 3 off the last one is always nice. I mean, Ancestral Recall on a body is totally fine. It's completely balanced. But thank you all for watching. Sorry that I wasn't great on the commentary, but at least it was something. And we'll see you all for the finals.